Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Ever get that slightly nervous feeling at border control, even when you think you've got all the right documents?
Oh, definitely. It happens.
Well, today we're going to try and cut through some of that stress. We're diving into two absolutely vital items for anyone traveling internationally: passports and visas.
That's right.
Our goal here is to, move beyond just the basics and give you that real confidence to navigate borders smoothly. Maybe even uncover a few surprising facts along the way.
It's so important. People often think they're, well, interchangeable or that having one means the other is sorted, but they really aren't. They're your keys to the world, yes, but they play fundamentally different parts in international travel. Getting clear on that difference, it's vital. It helps avoid hassle, for sure, but it's also about understanding how countries manage their borders.
Okay, let's start breaking this down. First up, the passport. Most of us have one, probably tucked away somewhere. But what actually is it, beyond, the booklet with your picture?
Right. Fundamentally, it's an official document from your own government, your home country.
Okay.
It confirms who you are, your identity, and crucially, your citizenship. That photo, your birth details, your signature, it's all there. It's your country essentially vouching for you on the world stage.
Vouching for you, I like that.
And what's really key is how universally recognized it is. It's not just like a driver's license, it's the document that lets you cross international lines, and importantly, it allows you to ask for help from your country's embassy or consulate if you run into trouble abroad.
That's a point people might forget, the protection aspect.
Exactly. And then there are the practicalities. Most passports are valid for 5 or 10 years, which seems like a long time.
Yeah, plenty of time, you'd think.
But here's a really critical detail.
Hmm.
Many countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond the date you plan to leave their country.
Ah, the 6-month rule. That catches so many people out.
It really does.
Yeah.
You could have 5 months left on your passport and still be denied boarding or entry. And another thing, you usually need a couple of completely blank pages for the stamps.
Right, for entry and exit stamps. If it's full, that's a problem too.
A big problem. So validity dates and blank pages, things to check.
Good reminders. And just to be crystal clear, the passport is always issued by your home country's government, like the State Department in the US or the Home Office in the UK.
Correct. Your country of citizenship.
Okay, so that's the passport. Now let's switch gears to the visa. This is where I think a lot of the confusion really sets in.
Definitely.
Because the absolute #1 difference right off the bat is that a visa is not issued by your home country.
Exactly. That's the most crucial distinction. If the passport says, this is who I am and where I'm from, the visa says, this is the permission I have from the country I want to visit.
Permission slip. Good analogy.
It's an authorization granted by the destination country's government. It allows you to do specific things, enter their territory, maybe just transit through, stay for a set period, or leave. And it's always tied to a specific purpose.
Like tourism, business, going to study.
Precisely. Tourism, business meetings, maybe taking up a job, studying at a university. Each usually requires a different type of visa, a different kind of permission.
And these visas, they don't all look the same, do they?
No, not at all. The traditional way was a sticker or a stamp physically placed inside your passport. That still happens a lot.
Yeah, I've got a few of those.
But increasingly, we're seeing e-visas. These are digital authorizations, basically linked electronically to your passport number. You might just get an email confirmation.
Okay, so no physical stamps sometimes.
Right. And then there are also visas on arrival, where you actually get the visa permission when you land at the airport or border crossing in that country. Though you often need to have documentation ready for that too.
And that permission, as you said, it comes with strings attached. It's very specific.
Oh, absolutely. A visa isn't just a come-on-in card. It'll clearly state things like how long you're allowed to stay.
Right, the duration.
Exactly.
Yep.
The exact dates your visa is valid for entry. Sometimes, how many times you can enter the country on that single visa. Single entry, multiple entry. And critically, what you're allowed to do. Can you work? Are you just there as a tourist? Can you study? The visa dictates that. Violating those terms can have serious consequences.
So really read the fine print on that visa.
You absolutely have to. And just to reiterate where they come from, visas are only issued by the embassy, the consulate, or sometimes the immigration authority of the country you plan to visit. They decide who gets permission.
Okay, makes sense. So you get to the border, you've got your passport, maybe you've got your visa. Why do the officials need to see both? What's the interplay there?
Well, think of it in 2 steps. Your passport is step 1. It proves who you are. It confirms your identity and your nationality to the border officer. This is me. I am a citizen of country X.
Okay, identity confirmed.
Then step 2 is the visa, if one is required for you. That shows the officer you have the legal permission from their government to enter their country for the reason you stated. It might also show them the limits how long you can stay, for instance.
Got it. Passport, who I am. Visa, why I'm allowed here.
Exactly. But here's something really important, something we found highlighted again and again. Having a valid passport and even the correct valid visa does not automatically guarantee they'll let you in.
Oh, interesting. So it's not a sure thing.
Not at all. The final decision always rests with the immigration officer at the port of entry. They have the ultimate discretion.
Why would they deny entry if you have the right documents?
Well, they're assessing the whole picture. They might ask you questions about your trip purpose, your funds, where you're staying. If your answers seem inconsistent, or if they suspect your intentions aren't what your visa says, or maybe you have a prior immigration violation somewhere, they can refuse entry.
Wow. So it really comes down to that individual officer's judgment at that moment.
It does. Their job is to uphold their country's immigration laws. Your documents are necessary, but they're not always sufficient on their own. You need to satisfy the officer as well. It underlines their authority at the border.
That's a really crucial point, something to keep in mind. And just quickly, we mentioned different visa types, stamps, e-visas. Passports also have categories, right? Like diplomatic ones.
Yes, most people have an ordinary passport. But there are also diplomatic passports for diplomats, official passports for government employees on official business. The format is generally standardized worldwide, though, thanks to international agreements. Visas, however, as we said, can vary a lot more in format and type depending on the country and the purpose.
Okay. Now, a question I bet a lot of listeners have. Can you ever travel with just one of these? Let's start with just the passport. Can you do that?
Yes, absolutely. In many cases, you can. It all depends on your nationality, the passport you hold, and the rules of the country you want to visit. Many countries have agreements allowing citizens of certain other countries to enter visa-free for tourism or short business trips. Or, as we mentioned, a country might offer a visa on arrival. In those cases, your passport is the main document you need to present at the border, maybe along with proof of funds or a return ticket.
So your passport's power really matters there.
It does. Some passports grant access to more countries without a prearranged visa than others.
Okay, so passport-only travel is possible. What about the other way around? Can you travel with just a visa, no passport?
No, that's completely impossible. Think about it. The visa is permission granted to someone linked to their identity and nationality.
Which is proven by the passport.
Exactly. Without the passport, the visa is basically meaningless. You have this permission slip, but you can't prove you're the person it was issued to, or even that you're a citizen of any country allowed to travel. The passport is the foundational document. The visa is attached to it, conceptually and often physically.
That makes perfect sense. The passport is non-negotiable for international travel.
Absolutely essential.
Okay, great. I think we've really unpacked the differences. Let's try and wrap this up by summarizing the key distinctions, the real core takeaways from this deep dive.
Sounds good. I think we can boil it down to 4 main points you really need to remember.
Okay, point 1.
First, your passport is your official ID for the world. It proves who you are and what your nationality is. It's issued by your home country.
Got it. Identity and nationality. Point 2.
Second, a visa is permission to enter a specific foreign country. It's granted by that country's government, usually for a set purpose and duration.
Right. Permission from the destination. Third point.
Third, whether you need both a passport and a visa depends entirely on where you're going, why you're going, and what passport you hold. You always need the passport, but the visa requirement varies. Check before you travel.
Always check. Crucial. And the final point.
And finally, number 4, and maybe the most sobering one. Having the right documents, even a valid visa, doesn't give you an automatic right to enter. The final say always belongs to the border control officers.
Be prepared, be clear, be truthful.
That's the best approach. Carry everything required, understand the rules, and be ready to answer questions honestly.
Excellent summary. So here's maybe a final pro tip building on all that. Before you even think about booking flights or hotels for an international trip,
Yes.
first, check your passport. Does it have at least 6-month validity after your planned return date? Are there enough blank pages? Then, immediately research the visa requirements for your specific destination and your nationality. Do you need one? What type? How long does it take to get?
Absolutely. Doing that homework up front saves so much potential stress and disappointment later. Preparedness and knowledge really are key.
Couldn't agree more. Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. All the best, and we will meet again with another important subject in the next meeting.